Bum, 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 bum. What's up, y'all? Philyfli Show is checking in for NFL Week Edition 17. We're brought to you by Right Way Production Studios, and we are kicking it and talking some football. Still got about 2 weeks away for the UFC edition of the first of the year. Nice little break from the UFC. It was much needed with how many events we had this year. But this is the NFL edition, so we are going to kind of sit here and talk about Week 16, which was a little crazy. And then there are a lot of good bets for Week 17, but there's two risky, known better things that you need to pay attention to. Also, I got a couple good ones for. I got some good stuff this week, guys. Very, very good stuff. I'm a little congested, so my voice sounds a little monotone today. I can't really get it to switch. It's a little raspy too, cause yeah, it's negative 10 degrees outside right now, and wind chill's probably negative 20. So it's horrible today for me. Horrible for the congestion list. But anyways, we're going to jump into Week 16 and review. We'll start out with the Browns-Packers game that was on Christmas. Packers did not cover the spread, so I got that one wrong. They did win the game, so I got the money line right. And the game was exactly 46, so that's a push on the over-under. We had the Colts-Cards game, which was really, really, really... I know I fell asleep before halftime of that game, but that game, I guess, was really, really different and really good. I did get the spread money line and over-under right, so you know what that means. That's a 3 for 3. Ooh, I almost got my voice out of there. That was kind of cool. So those were the two games for Saturday, and then Sunday, like normal, we had Bucks at Panthers. Said the Panthers would cover their spread with that plus 10. They didn't even not score a lot of points at all. I think they scored 6. But they got the money line right with the Bucks Panthers game, and then got the over under wrong. Chargers at Texans. This week was a for that one. So no spread, no money line, and no over under. That game was crazy, guys. Nobody expected the Texans to come out and put 41 points on the Chargers. So that Chargers defense is just absolutely trash, and I do not know what happened to their offense. They're not clicking on the same levels. And the Texans are still fighting, even though they're just not a very good team, and somehow that head coach has kept them together. So it's going to be weird to see what the Texans do in the offseason, especially with, the whole Deshaun Watson and all that drama. I mean, man, Texans could be on their way to actually being a good team eventually if they're still playing like this and they're listening to that coach. He might not get fired after the year, but I do not expect him to be there. I expect him to get a big name coach. Kind of floated off there, so we'll jump into the Giants-Eagles game. The Eagles did cover, and I got the money line right on that Eagles-Giants game, but that over-under, at first I thought it was 48.5 that I put on there, but I had to go look it up because I did not want to get it wrong. No, it was 40.5 because by the time the game started, it was 41. So I know it was 40.5, and I think they scored 44 points total. So I got that one wrong on the over-under. Then we got the Ravens and the Bengals. Man, the Bengals beat the Ravens down just badly. Just kept scoring. Joe Burrow put up like 500 and some yards. I mean, dude, that was a crazy game. And then look at the spread. The spread was -3 for the Bengals and +3 obviously for the Ravens. That was not a close game at all. But hey, that happens sometimes. But I did get the spread right, money line right, and the over under right. So that's a 3 for 3. Next was Lions at the Falcons. Falcons did not cover, but they won the game, so I got the money line right. And then the over-under was 42.5. I think it came out to like 37 or 39, so it was perfect on that one. I got the over-under right on that one. And then Jags at Jets. Jets covered, so I got the spread right. I got the money line right, but I did not get that over-under right. That game was way high scoring compared to what I thought it was going to be. Alrighty. Now we jump into, these are still two more noon o'clock games from last week with the Rams at the Vikings. Rams covered. Rams won the game, so I got the money line right, and I got that over-under right because it was like 53 or something like that. So that's a 3 for 3. Bills at the Pats will end the noon o'clock games, and I got the spread wrong. I got the money line wrong, but I got the over-under right. But the Bills winning the game, did not see that happening. Bears at Raiders. The wrong one. Bears at Seahawks. Got the spread wrong. I got that money line wrong, and I got the over-under totally wrong. So that will be a Broncos at the Raiders is a back-to-back Yeah, that was just horrible. So back-to-back, no picks there, or no good picks there. And then Steelers at the Chiefs. Got the spread right with the Chiefs winning by like 26 points. Got the money line right, but I got that over-under completely wrong. Thought it'd be it came out to 46, so I barely missed it, which sucks. I hate when that happens. Next we'll jump into it is the Sunday night game was Washington at the Cowboys, and man, wasn't even worth. I'm glad I didn't stay up for that game because it wasn't even worth it. They had it where, what was it, 30 or 40 something to 14 in like the first half or something. It was nuts, and they ended up scoring 56 points. It's just nuts. But got the spread wrong on that, got the money line right, and got the over/under right. The over/under was 47, and literally the Cowboys scored 56 points, so they beat the over/under themselves. Didn't even need Washington. Monday night game was Dolphins at the Saints, and since the COVID, I said the word, hopefully I don't get in trouble, but they because of the safety, health, and protocols, Dolphins easily covered that game. Dolphins won the game, and the over/under was 37.5. I went under, so that's a 3 for 3. So, unfortunately, the numbers didn't come out as good as I wanted them to for the spread. I got 7 out of the 15 games, so that's under the 50% course line that I like to be at. But hey, it happens. It's the betting world. If I would have been betting, I would have probably broke even on everything because the money lines, I got 11 out of 15, but I would have had to do some, craziness, which could have ended bad too anyway. So that doesn't always bring it out. But if you're single betting, I would have been ahead there with 11 out of 15 on the money line. But the over-under was 7 out of 14 because of the push instead of 7 out of 15, so that's 50%. But hey, if I had one of these weeks down betting, I would not even be upset whatsoever. Alrighty, so we are here for week 17. I've been kind of going shorter on these episodes / podcasts for the NFL edition because I could break down a little more and do some prop bets and do all that, but I like what this is for its first year. We'll work out and branch out next year because there's only this week 17 and 18 left. I haven't really decided if I'm going to do a playoff thing. If I do a playoff thing, it's probably only going to be like a 10-minute skit at all. I'm leaning on not doing it so much, but I might do it just for fun because I don't know if the UFC's going to be. I think when the playoffs start the first week, the UFC's back. So I might have the ambition to do it because the UFC will be back and I'll be back at it again, which is what I really, really like to do. This NFL one, I kind of winged it. I just all of a sudden, it was like end of July, and I'm like, you know what? More content, more everything. I talked about doing basketball and stuff coming up here. Still might do a couple episodes of that, but that might not be like one of those things where I do like a weekly one on it. I might not. I could not, depending on what I do. The daily fantasy has been fun for me lately. I won a nice chunker off $5, which by a nice chunker off $5, I mean I won $180 or something, which I'm finally able to keep placing in certain ones, so I'm gonna be working on something with that too. But the NFL is about to end, and that's what I keep winning money off of. So might bring that to you guys next year too, with what I like on the daily fantasy that I'm looking at. But again, I keep getting thrown off of week 17. So let's kick it off. The noon games will start off with the Raiders at the Colts. Raiders are +7. That means the Colts are -7. That one, the Raiders haven't been playing as good since Darren Waller's been out, and the emotional stress of, the John Gruden and Henry Ruggs thing is just finally laid out that team, and they just kind of look bummed. It's going to be weird to see what they do too in the offseason, thinking about it now, because they're going to stick with Derek Carr, or are they going to load off Derek Carr, load up on picks, and load up on, rebooting that whole team, since they're in Vegas now and there's no more John Gruden. Money line, we got Raiders plus, well, I guess I should say who I'm going to pick. I picked the Colts to cover that -7 spread. I think the Colts win by 17 points, because the Raiders just have not been playing at the NFL level of the Colts. Plus 245 on the Raiders on the money line, -300 on the Colts. You're going Colts all day, like I said, because they're going to cover that spread. The over-under is 45. Colts are a defensive team, so I could see the Colts holding them to a 24-10 game, which would make that a 34. That's why I'm going under the 45. Giants at the Bears. That one here is going to be a little interesting, because Bears just have not been playing offensively that well. Defensively, they're pretty decent, but offensively, no, they're just. Giants are also, you don't know what Giants team's going to show up. You don't know what players are going to show up, because you never know who's playing for them. You don't know if it's going to be Mike Lennon, or if it's going to be Daniel Jones, who has been injured supposedly, or if it's going to be that other third-string guy. I don't even remember who their third-string guy is right now. But the Giants are +6. That means Bears are -6. I'm going Giants to cover the +6, because I see the Bears only winning by 3 points. Giants are +220, whereas the Bears are -270. So I'm going Bears to win the game, like I said, by 1 to 3 points. Over-under is 36.5. I'm going over, but I see it only being a 38 to maybe 40 point total there. Bucks at the Jets. Now, the Jets have been playing better as of late, but you're running into a Bucks team that wants to show and get on a roll. Tom Brady, how he likes to go into the playoffs through December, is on a roll. So Bucks are -13. Jets are +13. I'm thinking the Bucks just blow them out 27-10. So that's the way I'm looking at that game. So that's why I'm going Bucks to cover. That means I'm going Bucks to win on the money line with -850. You can pick the Jets if you want, but they're +590. I just don't see them winning against the Bucks, even at home. 45.5 is the over-under. I'm going under, because I just see, like I said, the Bucks just only one scoring points and the Jets minimal. Falcons at the Bills is the next one. Now, this one's a little different, because the Falcons have been playing good football. Yeah, they're going to be going up to the Bills in cold weather. I'm pretty sure it's going to be cold up there, because it's cold here. But I don't see the Bills winning by that much. The spread is 14.5, +14.5 for the Falcons, -14.5 for the Bills. Going the Falcons with the points. I just do not see the Bills winning, but if the Bills win, the max they win by is 14 points. So with that extra half a point, that's why I leaned on the Falcons. Money line is +660 on the Falcons and -$1,000 on the Bills. -$1,000 just to win $100 is crazy, but that's what I would pick. So obviously parlaying the Bucks and the Bills together with somebody, even the Colts too, because I don't see the Colts losing that game. That'd kind of be a good parlay right there, just a 3-legger to put down like $500. You'd win too much, but you'd have better odds than going on that negative 850 or that negative 1,000. All right, 44 is the over/under. I'm going over just because I think the Falcons are going to compete a bit and put up some points, and obviously the Bills will put up 30 most likely. The Falcons' defense is horrid. Remember that. So the Bills will put up 30 points. Can the Falcons put up 14? Yeah, I could easily see that. So that's why I'm going over the 44 there. Eagles at Washington. Washington has fallen off on play. Like, some weeks you'll see them, they're kind of competing, but then the game gets away from them. And then some weeks they don't compete at all. So I'm going Eagles here because of their run game and the way they've been playing as of late too. So negative 4.5 on the Eagles spread. Plus 4.5 for Washington. I'm going Eagles to cover. I'm also going Eagles to win the game. That means with negative 320, or not 320, negative 220 on the money line and plus 184 for Washington. 44.5 is the over/under. I'm going under. This game is not going to be a high-scoring game whatsoever, even though the Eagles have been scoring a lot. They're division rivals, so I just feel like it won't be as high-scoring. Chiefs at the Bengals, which is a really, really good game and a big preview into the playoffs because both teams pretty much do need to win to get higher in the conference, trying to get number one seed. I don't think the Bengals are close to getting number one seed, but they want to get a higher seeding than wherever they're at. I don't remember exactly where they're at. Chiefs are negative 4.5. Bengals are plus 4.5. I think the Chiefs only win by 1 to 3 points. So I'm going Bengals to cover with 4.5 because why would you not want to you get money with Joe Burrow? Even though the way the Chiefs defense has been playing as of late too, I'm giving points to Joe Burrow. But when it comes to the money line, like I said, I see the Chiefs winning the game by like 1 to 3 points. So money line is negative 200 on the Chiefs, plus 168 on the Bengals. I'm going Chiefs with the negative 200. 51 is the over/under. Both of these defenses do give up points. They play hard. They get sacks. They get turnovers, but they give up points. So that over/under is going over that 51. Jags at the Pats. This one is crazy. I am risking this one because the Jags have been scoring like maximum with 10 points a week, maybe 17 points a week at the most. That is very low scoring. Whereas Bill Belichick is just going to stop the way he's played against rookies. Obviously, his record is crazy. But the spread is nuts. Plus 16.5 with the Jags. Usually I go to points if they're that high. But when you're facing Bill Belichick as a rookie quarterback, even though he has a rookie quarterback, and the way the Jags have been playing without their head coach who got fired, without the pizzazz that they've been playing with, I'm going the Patriots to cover that negative 16.5, even though it's risky. I just see them winning 27-0 or 24-0 easily, or 20-0 or 23-0. Any of those numbers sound right to me, because that's what Bill Belichick does to rookie quarterbacks. You just don't score anything. And if they do, whip-de-wop-de-doo, because that's just nuts. You could go either way on there. You could risk your money either way, but it's going to be really close on that on the actual odds if you do the spread. Money line is crazy too, plus 750 on the Jags, negative $1,200 on the Pats. I wouldn't put any money down on either of those, but you can risk it if you want. I'm going Pats obviously because I picked them to cover the 16.5. The over/under is 41.5. There's no way it gets up to 41.5, so we're going under on that one, baby. All right. Dolphins at the Titans. Dolphins were 1-7, and now they are 7-7 or 8-7 or whatever. What in the bleep show? Like, they were dead in the water. Nobody even thought about them, and they just come back on this streak. I think they keep the streak alive just because Titans football has been a roller coaster, obviously. You get Julio Jones back. You lost Derrick Henry. Yada, yada, blah. Your defense plays one week, but then doesn't show up the next. I mean, they've been different. They've been a roller coaster compared to what the Dolphins have been, which is trajectory upward after they went to the urinals way too quickly. So, Dolphins at Titans, plus 3.5 on the Dolphins, negative 3.5 on the Titans. Since the Dolphins are on a roll, I'm going Dolphins on the spread to get with the 3.5 points. The money line is plus 140 on the Dolphins and negative 168 on the Titans. I am going Titans. Or, I mean, why I did not. No. I am going Dolphins. I literally already said they're going to win the game with the plus 140. 39.5 is the over-under. Both these teams play defense, so I'm going under on that one. But that's a risk, too, because I could see points happening because these teams want to beat each other down. To get better, the Dolphins want to make the playoffs, and they have a shot. So, the last game of the noon o'clock games, we got Rams at the Ravens. Ravens, I don't know if Lamar's playing. I haven't heard anything about it. Negative 5.5 on the Rams, plus 5.5 on the Ravens. I'm going Rams to cover. That means I'm going Rams to win the game with the money line at negative 230, whereas the Ravens are plus 190. And then 46 is the over-under. I'm going under on that game. We'll jump into the 3 o'clock games because I am going way too long on this podcast. I am talking so much, which is kind of fun, though. I'm not going to lie. Broncos at Chargers. Broncos plus 7.5, whereas the Chargers are negative 7.5. I'm going Broncos with the points because of the way the Chargers have been playing. Their defense is just absolutely giving up points like crazy. But then on the money line, we got plus 275 on the Broncos and negative 340 on the Chargers. I do think the Chargers win the game, but only by like 2 points, man. 2 or 3 points. And then 45 is the over-under. I'm going over there. Texans at the 49ers is a betters alert game, guys. Better alert. Obviously, 49ers were playing better football into this game, but Jimmy G is injured, and I don't think he's going to play. It sounds like it's going to be Trey Lance for the rest of the year. The way the Texans have been playing against the last 2 weeks or whatever it is, man, Texans plus 12.5, 49ers negative 12.5. This, even though this is a better's alert where I usually say stay away from, I'd be jumping all over those Texans at plus 12.5 with Trey Lance in there all day, and the way they've been playing all day. But I don't think they win the game, but 12.5 points is so many points, especially with the way they've been playing. Money line is plus 500 on the Texans, negative 700 on the 49ers. Going 49ers to win the game, but even that's a risk. I would stay away from that all day. 44 is the over-under. I don't know what I'm thinking. I don't know why I'm thinking this, but I'm thinking it's going to go under. I think it's a low-scoring game this week, but that's a risk too. That whole betting one is a risk to stay away from. All right. Now, Cards at the Cowboys. What is going to show up, guys? This is a playoff implication game because the Cowboys can compete for the first seed in the NFC with the Packers, or if the Cardinals win, the Packers win the division. All they have to do is win. And we'll get into that later. So, Cardinals are plus 5.5 at the Cowboys. Negative 5.5 for the Cowboys. I picked the Cowboys to cover. Plus 198 on the Cards money line. But since I picked the Cowboys to cover, negative 240, I'm going with the Cowboys on their money line. 51.5 is the over-under. I'm going over because of the Cards' defense giving up points. Dallas does play defense, but sometimes they give up points. So, all right. We still have 2 more games in this 3 o'clock hour. That is crazy. That we have so many games this week with the 16. All on Sunday, too. Well, Sunday and Monday. And Monday is the last Monday night game of the week. But we'll jump into the Panthers at the Saints. Plus 6.5 on the Panthers. Negative 6.5 on the Saints. Sounds like the Saints are going to get their players back from the health and safety protocol. So I'm going Saints to cover that 6.5 because the Panthers just absolutely are trash to me. That means on the money line, I'm going Saints with a negative 280, and the Panthers are plus 230. We're not jumping on the Panthers at all because they're absolute trash. And 37.5 is the over-under. I think the game goes over-under the 37.5, but not by much. All right, the last 3 o'clock game is Lions at Seahawks. What Seahawks are going to show up? The Lions have been playing hard almost every single week, even when they lose. So, don't know what Lions are going to show up. I am going with the Seahawks on the spread. They're negative 7.5, whereas the Lions are plus 7.5, which means I'm going with the Seahawks on the money line. They're negative 360. The Lions are plus 290. Over under is 41.5. I am going under, and that ends the 3 o'clock games. Sunday night football is Vikings at Packers. I think that's the last Sunday night game too. I'm pretty sure they all end after the 3 o'clock games at next week. I swear they only do that way, but I could be wrong. I don't remember fully correctly right now. But we got Vikings at the Packers. Now, this is a bettors alert game too here. Okay. Vikings quarterback Kirk Cousins is out, not playing, in health and safety protocols. So Kellen Mond, I think his name is. I think his first name is Kellen, or whatever Mond, 3rd round pick out of the Vikings, will be starting. So that's a bettors alert. Vikings are plus 13.5, which is a lot of points, but because Mond's playing and nobody knows what's going to happen, Packers defense looks like it's going to have Yair Alexander back. Sounds like it. Could be wrong. Could also have Za'Darius back, I'm hearing. Could be wrong. I'm going Packers cover negative 13.5 with Mon being in there. Just because also Aaron Rodgers and them want that number 1 seed, and they want to beat down the Vikings. He loves beating down the Vikings. Drinking Purple Crush after the game is his favorite thing. So them to cover that 13.5. Money line is plus 570 on the Vikings, but if I'm picking the Packers to cover, that means I'm picking the Packers to win with that negative 820. Plus, the Packers have not lost at Lambeau this year. Yeah, that can happen, but I don't see it happening with Mond at the quarterback. Kirk Cousins is there. It could happen, but he also is not very good in primetime games. Over-under is 42.5. Game's going over because that Vikings defense is absolutely just not playing to the level that they could be. And they have really bad defensive backs, and the wide receivers of the Packers are just going to run routes all over them. Not going to be a good game for Sunday night if you think the Vikings are going to compete or if you're a Vikings fan. Last Monday night of the season to end the career of Ben Roethlisberger at Heinz Field. It's pretty impressive. Now the Browns have to do it first, but could go with that Steelers with their plus 3.5. I'm risking it. I think the Browns win by more than that, but it's a risk. Browns are negative 3.5. Steelers are plus 3.5. I'm going Browns to cover. That means I'm going Browns with negative 178 on the money line, whereas the Steelers are plus 150. And the over-under is 41. I think it's under, but it's a risk there, guys. All right, this was such a long podcast for this NFL edition. I usually only go 15 minutes. This is like 30 minutes here almost. So, we're going to jump out. Share this with your friends. Like my YouTube channel. Content comes every week, but the NFL is about the end, unfortunately. There's only one more week after this one. It's been great. Next week, though, I am going to try to go through all my paperwork quick and bring you either the total of the year for the NFL edition, and if I don't get to it by then, I'll throw it on there on the UFC edition, or I might do it for the playoffs. Never know, I might need content for that little playoff one. So, again, brought to you by Right Way Production Studios. Thanks for making this always happen. And peace out, and get to betting and let me win you some money. Peace out, y'all.